Hey everybody, I haven't made a video in a long time. This is hopefully something that's gonna keep happening. This isn't gonna be the normal room I'm doing it in. I'm in my daughter's room today. There's stuff going on out there. Whatever. As I said, this is something I'm gonna want to do a little bit more often. Today, I felt obligated to do this for so many reasons. For one, after watching a video that I watched, the link for the video is in the description, I felt like this needs to happen. The guy named Chris, if you watch the video or if you've seen the video, just that really impassionate speech that he had made me want to just come on and do, out of respect for him, because I have nothing but respect for everything that he said, and I felt obligated, like I need to stand up and I need to do something. As he was, I've played Pokemon for 15 years. I've played it since Generation 1, and I've never found myself wanting to beat animals. It's just, I don't understand where the connection happens here. I know they did the same thing with Mario last year. They did Super Meat Boy the year before that, and I know there's some others. I know there's a Cooking Mama one too. All games that are really good. Super Mario 3D Land is currently my favorite 3DS game. There isn't anything better on the 3DS. And Pokemon just came out this Sunday, and I'm already tearing it up in that. So I just can't believe like why they would go about doing something like this. They have a budget that they claim is because they want to help the animals that are put in harm's way. Fine. How many of those animals do they put down on a daily basis anyways? How many animals are they saving by putting to sleep instead of doing something that they should, doing something better for those animals? They aren't helping. They're slandering a product that we all love. The one thing that I have found out of this entire week is that not a single person that I've talked to agrees with what they have done. Everybody thinks that they are just way out in left field. It doesn't make any sense as to what they're doing. Nobody understands. Like they're getting attention, and I'm sure at the end result, that's what this is about. They want attention. You know who else wanted attention? You know who else got it? Team Plasma. What did we give them? We gave them everything. The entire original Black and White storyline with Team Plasma about how they wanted to free all the Pokemon because the trainers were doing nothing but hurting them. And then you find out that's not what they were doing. That's just not it. Well, obviously they're the enemies in Pokemon, so nothing they say can be taken truthfully as it is. But the fact remains, that's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they're doing. They're getting the attention that we are pouring back into them, and that's exactly what they wanted. And that is the biggest problem of all. And I understand that at the end of the day, I get that. But not a single person has said that this is the right thing. There's a very negative response, and I'm sure they knew that there was going to be negative. But the problem is that the game they released on Monday, everybody's saying they don't understand. They've obviously never done anything with the source material. They've never played it. If you've played the game, and I played a little bit of it, I didn't do much because it was disturbing, and I ended up going back to my copy of Black 2. I didn't care enough to actually spend time on it, and I know I did the same thing last year with the Mario one. But even just playing a little bit of it, the problem is that it stays incredibly true to the source material. Like, granted, you know, it's ridiculous and all that, but the game itself even has like the reference, like the Mudkip reference. If anybody's actually played it, and I know a lot of you have, the end of the day, it's saying they know the source material, and and I don't understand how if they know the source material and they know, especially like when they're talking about cramming them into the tiny little balls. They're first off, when the Pokemon get put in the Pokeballs, it's like a home to them. Everything that we have out and about, they have in there, and they're not being crammed. They're not being forced. Nobody is making them do anything they don't want to do, because if you make them do something they don't want to do, if you watch the anime ever, if you do something that a Pokemon does not like, it will attack you no matter what, even if it is your own Pokemon. If you do something stupid, Ash has been electrocuted how many times by Pikachu? Diamond and Pearl with Krogunk hitting Brock every single time. You know, they're not being forced to do anything, and that's the one thing they did miss, is we love them, we treasure them. They are my Pokemon in my game. I care so much for them. I just do. I cannot help myself but to do everything for them and make sure that everything I do in the game is for them. So I don't understand at what point that I'm forcing them to do anything. And in playing Fire Red, for instance, I always thought that every time I gave my Pokemon an item or a TM or whatever it is I was doing, I was always excited to see how close the Pokemon moved to the screen, because if you remember, once they moved closer and closer, it's based on how much they liked you. And it just got me so excited, especially, like 8 years ago, 9 already. Like, it's already been a long time since those came out. And then, like, even then, 2 years ago when Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, your Pokemon followed you around. Whatever the Pokemon was, the first in your party followed you around everywhere you went. It wasn't being forced. It wasn't being harmed. It got to follow you around every single place you went. There was only certain times that it had to go back in the Pokeball, but that's because if you have an Onix, you can't have it everywhere. So, at the end of the day, we're going to end up keep giving them attention. We can't ignore it. We can't let it go, because it's not going to do anything at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we have to stand up and fight. And the only way that we can do that is together. And that is what Pokemon has taught me, is how to do things together and how to stand up for what you believe in. And that's what I'm doing. And I want to thank Chris specifically, because he gave me that motivation to do something about this. And I know that it's not much, but my voice can still be heard. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.